Welcome to the channel. Good afternoon, good morning. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm out by myself today. Rick had a dentist appointment, so gonna do a little fishing. I'm gonna fish a lake I fished before. I know it's got good ones. We're gonna concentrate deep to start. Maybe fish some weeds. I think maybe the big fish have pulled up into the weeds, but I want to check deep first, just to see if they're out there. And if not, then we'll slide up into the cabbage. The lake's got really good cabbage in it, so hopefully we can find them. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
4 p.m. and checked it at 6, so it wasn't easy on the second day.
I get it, but the style and what you like to do, that kind of, it's your jam, as you say.
But I'm also realistic with it. Like, if those 3 guys keep catching them, it's a good year, but I'm looking ahead to 2022.
Yeah.
If there's a couple guys that stumble and I happen to have a good finish at Smith, then we go into Grand Lake with a lot ahead of me.
Yeah, how much time have you spent on Grand Lake, though, recently?
Recently, not as much as I should. I've spent most of my time on Grand Lake in the Podunkers. Every fish counts 1 pounder heavier.
That's your jam.
And I've won several of those out there. But the problem is my 5 bass limit in those weighs about 9.5 to 10 pounds.
Yeah. Which might be good. I mean, Grand is fickle this time of year. You know, we had Sean Goodwin on yesterday. He was talking about there were several guys that had over 30 pounds 2 days.
There we go, fish number 1, Carolina rig. Man, he pounded it too. Let's see what we got here. There we go, fish number 1, Carolina rig. I rarely fish a Carolina rig, but thought I'd give it a shot out here deep. Worked for that one. Let's see if I can get another one. On the crankbait. Decided to not throw the Carolina rig because the weeds are just a little bit too thick. I can't get it through there without getting hung up. 2 pound 7 ouncer on the crankbait using a Rapala. It's a Trolls 220. Fishing in that 15 to 19 foot range right now. Just on the edge of the weeds. The weeds seem to be in that 15 to 16 to 15. 1 ouncer. Yeah, that's number 3. I don't remember if I mentioned the second fish was 2 pounds 7 ounces. So 292711. Here we sit. There we go. There's a Carolina rig. There you go. Carolina rig fish. Gotta love it. That was a damn good one. That's a good one right there. There's a 3 pound 8 ouncer on the Carolina rig. Pretty fish again. Catching them on a Carolina rig with like a little black zoom trick worm on it. That's the second fish I've caught on that rig. So I've caught 2 on the crank and 2 on the Carolina rig. One more for 5. Let's go. Number 5. A 2 pounder. Here's a 2 pound 1 ouncer. That's fish number 5. Takes me up to 11.77 for my first 5 keepers. So I got one that's just barely over like a 1 pound 1 ounce in there. Got to get rid of that one. If we can do that, we'll be on our way to 13. We'll see. There's a good fish. just want one more of those. One more just like this. There's a 3-1 on a drop shot. That takes us all the way up to 1377. 1377 made the 13. Nice. Using a Zoom Fish Doctor in the watermelon red. Basically looks like a little French fry. Got about a 3-foot leader on there, fishing it way off the bottom. I want to get a big one here. Let's see. One more 3-pounder. Let's go. One more. That's a good fish. If it's a bass. There we go. There you go. There you go, buddy. I think he's gonna call that. He might call that smallest one out. I'm not sure. Smallest one. It's gonna be close. It's gotta be 2-1. Here's a 2-5. Calls out that 2-1. Caught him on the drop shot again. That takes out 13.99. 13.99. So close to 14. So that's going to do it for me today in the Scenic Highway 6 area, kind of up in that Emily outing area. Ended up with 18.99 pounds. Caught 5 keepers in the first hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes on crankbait and Carolina rigging along the deep weed line, and just could not get anything going after that. Until like the last hour. I fished deep for a while, about a third of the day, and then I spent another a third of the day probably fishing shallow, working shallow cabbage and weed flats and such, and just couldn't get anything going. I caught a bunch of northerns, lost 4 swim jigs to northerns that cut me off, and just couldn't get any bass going shallow. So for like the last hour and a half I decided to go back deep, and I just put everything away, pulled out my drop shot, and just went along that deep weed line where I caught the 5 fish earlier in the day, and I was able to catch quite a few fish. I probably caught 7 bass in the last hour and a half, and a 3-pounder and another 2-5. So it ended up being a successful day. Made our 2 main goals, 5 keepers and 13 pounds. Hey, thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you've been doing this fall. Fishing seems to be picking up for us, so I'd like to hear if you guys have been doing better as well. And with that, we'll see you in the water next time.